Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. We need to insert a meme here because the leaks have just been gushing through for Samsung. It's crazy. The most recent one has come from a Reddit user and it was then deleted, but it's still live. And it's an actual video, a physical video of a working device. And it looks legit, right? It looks legit. It looks like it's the real deal. It doesn't look like it's a fake demo or anything. The screen is on. We're seeing those rumored flat edges, right? Mm-hmm. We're seeing the more boxed off square design. And it looks like it's on the money here. I mean, from what I'm seeing here, it's a short video rotating around. We see the triple camera ring design that we've had, and it's been rumored. And now we finally see it in the flesh. So first impressions.
I mean, it looks like a Galaxy S series device. Yep. I am warming up to the square design. I think one of my biggest things is I want the camera housing to change its look entirely. That's just me. And I think from a design perspective and not falling into the trap which Samsung and Apple have both fallen into is it looks the same. You know what I mean? Like even if it's squared, when you show a regular daily consumer, they will go, isn't that the S24, 22, 23, type of thing? So that's me. But I do like I'm liking the kind of like flat edges and, corners and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. And like there's some more leaked dummy units from Sammy Guru, which you can see, and then you can see how the S Pen is embedded at the bottom. And, it's a clean look. I do get what you're saying, and I totally understand where you're coming from. But to me, it's a nice, refined enough design compared to what we've had. So it's a good evolution to a good design, in my opinion. So, and that seems to be the case from a lot of the feedback that I'm seeing online. A lot of people are saying that it looks like a nice design. Again, I'm sure it's not going to be universal. Some people are not going to like it. But there are some amazing renders from Technizo, I believe is how you say it. And the channel is Technizo Concept. And this guy has been going full on with the renders. I mean, they look very professional. We've got the different colors as well. And I'm thinking, yeah, dude, like, you've done the work for us here, man. You've given us the full renders, close-ups. We've got the 360s coming in. Great job there, Technizo Concept. Do check out the channel as well. You'll see some of the renders here on screen. And, Galaxy AI is here. He's got the full branding going on. We've got some pastel colors. Again, the colors aren't finalized as yet, but it's looking good, man. It's looking good. Obviously, we're going to have, I don't know what new Galaxy AI features we're going to have specifically, but the information, which is that Samsung and OpenAI are in talks to form a partnership and potentially integrate ChatGPT into Samsung's Galaxy AI services. So, we've seen Apple has done this, that, it does what it can based on its capabilities. But if you want more, then you can go on to ChatGPT. And it looks like, because, ChatGPT is open source, it's something that, they can work with Samsung as well as Apple. So this should be quite interesting as well to see what kind of new AI features, because in my opinion, from all of the different AI implementations I've seen, Samsung was one of the first and they have developed it. Like I love, being able to summarize web pages. I love sketch to image. A few of these quite useful features. Yes, I don't use Live Translate and stuff myself much at all, but some of these other features are pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to see what Samsung brings to the table in January.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. I think this is bigger than most people realize, just because Samsung kind of started its AI journey with Gemini in the background, doing a lot of stuff. And it seems like to me, it either points to the fact that either Gemini, there's certain things you just can't do yet, or it's limited in certain factions. Yeah. But also, it also means that Samsung needs a partner for some of its services that Google doesn't cover in certain areas. So if you think about it from a China perspective, for instance, right? Yeah. Google really isn't there, but ChatGPT on a Samsung device sold in China with ChatGPT functionality will work there. There's so many parts of the world where, there's a reason why Samsung has those apps. I know a lot of creators in the US complain about it and say, we don't want to have multiple apps. It's not for you. It's for a lot of markets. But what I do like here, and I think Samsung will do, is implement more things more seamlessly than say Apple with ChatGPT, just because Apple does the instructional, hey, I'm passing it on to ChatGPT to do it. While Samsung will just tell you they might say Galaxy AI features powered by ChatGPT, and it just kind of continues in that.
Just make you agree to everything at the start, so then they don't have to ask you again.
But also, it also could mean that we may have a resurgence of Bixby. I talked about this earlier this year, and I don't see it as a bad thing, especially if it's powered by ChatGPT. I think that's good for them, in that sense, especially just on device. Because one of the biggest things that I think Samsung is missing compared to Apple is that Apple Intelligence has improved on-device functionality with the iPhone. Samsung doesn't have it because Gemini doesn't do that, or I at least haven't seen that functionality there. So I think it's going to be quite interesting. Samsung's going to come up with at least maybe, honestly, I feel like 10 new key AI features that are just going to blast on screen for us, at the launch event.
Yeah, so, there's a few things you mentioned there, like for instance, in terms of privacy, you can go into your Galaxy AI settings on your Samsung device and keep it to on-device only, right? And when you do that, there's not really much it does, right? Yes, it can do some of the live translate things and stuff like that, but like anything generative, nope. You need to go back into the cloud, right? So yes, you can limit it, but then it's like, okay, now it's very limited.
Well, I would say though, to that point, it is limited, but it's improved this year. That's one of the biggest things that Qualcomm talked about was everything they could do a lot more on device. They said they can do some generative AI stuff, but of course, because generative AI needs to look at other things to kind of mimic and create content, and that becomes difficult on there,
No, of course. But, and then you mentioned Bixby, like I actually covered Bixby initially when it released, and to be fair, it was quite good in the sense that it had more deeper understanding of what you wanted. So like you could say something more specific in terms of the settings, right? That, okay, switch off vibrations on my keyboard, and it would, be able to do that for you, and, more so than what Google could do at the time. This is talking about maybe 4 years ago, right? 4 or 5 years ago, potentially. But they didn't really kind of utilize on it, and it's kind of got a bit of a bad rep now. So let's see if they can bring that back, because, hey, competition's always a good thing.
True.